What's good, you too? It's your boy Kevin, man. Dragon Ball Dama. Is that how you say it? Dragon Ball Dama? Let's get into it, man.
Why did this animation look so smooth? Some were saying it felt like a different studio took over. Others theorized it was part of a new movie. And then the standard it's because they blew all the budget. Well, in reality, the reason it did look so good was because it was handled by a very popular but skilled freelance animator by the name of Takashi Kojima, who specializes particularly in character animation and just has a love for realism. He animated the ending of Mob Psycho, worked on One Piece, Attack on Titan, Fate Grand Order, and the GOAT, Space Dandy. He's been everywhere. The second reason is because Daima has a good schedule that allows good animators to actually do their thing and not be forced to put out unfinished work, unlike some other studios out there. And Toei in 2015 was super. But why was an animator sought after as much as him, even on Daima in the first place? Well,
I ain't gonna lie, I like it. I like the animation. It looked fire. It looked like one of the super movies, like the Broly movie or something. It looks pretty good though.
that comes down to a very important but underrated factor in animation: connections. Although it's not 100% confirmed, it is pretty likely he was brought on by the director Aya Komaki, a former series director on One Piece, and during the same time Kojima was also doing a lot of work on the Wano arc. At the same time, it is a possibility it could have been to do with Chikashi Kubota, another animator he's been friends with for a long time, and in Daima's first episode he also brought on other very talented freelance animators that also happen to be great at character animation, so it's possible. But what about the technical side? What about this feels different than usual? Well, it's no secret that Dragon Ball and much as shonen anime for decades has put their attention on fights. And so naturally that's where you'll find most of the animation highlights. And so for everything outside of that, it's pretty limited. If Bulma's angry, the arms might move back and forth on a loop. When they talk, they kind of rigidly move on screen. The only thing that continues to move is like the mouth and maybe a small blinking animation added in. Or if there's like a gag, the animation kind of snaps through a small amount of poses, then chucks some spit on a loop. The visual weight is expressed more so through interesting drawings and posing than actual animated movement, which is why Kojima's scene in Daima stands out straight away, because he pays careful attention to the physics of just about everything. Like from the first few seconds when the waitress lifts her head, the shoulders slowly move back, her pointy ears, since they're kinda long, subtly bounce around with the head. Switching back quickly to that One Piece scene with Nami, she lets out a little breath, then turns her head, but each of those two body movements happen separately, and it's fine, but what about when you combine them together? Well, you get something that feels more realistic. The neck and the upper body drag along with it. When Goku talks, it isn't a still drawing, then a basic turn. The head and the body sways to the left first, then turns around. Even as Goku talks, the front hair bangs like kind of subtly move. It's a very natural approach to movement, but why is that in the first place?
That's fire.
Well, because in real life, we never remain rigidly still, perfectly straight when we talk or interact with someone. Like here's some generic stock footage. Nothing special. But notice for one how this dude on the left, as his head turns, his upper body slowly moves to one side. The guy on the right kind of sways a little side to side. There's a lot that goes on, and to capture all those nuances in animation is so hard, which again is what makes Kojima such an impressive animator. The Bulma cut though is my particular favorite. It's a great example of great visual comedy driven through grounded animation. He pulls Bulma's head back and the hand forward. The pupils, they shift size when she hears that it's a bug. Kojima also stretches the head to express the shock when she realizes what she's holding. The posing and expression sell the comedy further as well. The iris and pupils become even smaller again, and the general eye shape expands with like this strong curve, expressing her fear pretty well. Her left arm is also always kept close to her chest, and her shoulders arch upwards, making her feel kind of vulnerable. The awkward throw she does is also great, and just the way he animates her arm raising up to chuck it. But it's also the detail of how her eyes constantly track the bug after the throw, which adds to the comedy for me. Then the hunched over pose, it's great, good line of action. It does a nice job of expressing her bug anxiety, but also in a humorous way. And last but not least, the good attention to physics. It's a very loose movement. Like with the arms, they bounce down, then out, then down, and out for the throw. they're not glued in a fixed position.
Yeah.
But Bulma's reaction to when she finds out about the instant cure for her skin problems is just as good and kind of the opposite in approach. First off, Kojima shakes her head back and forth to express the excitement. He expands the iris right out with a small animated shine flickering around her eyes, and applies animation fundamentals like squash and stretch to give that bounce to the motion. There's a strong charm to it. There's also a good sense of weight to objects as well, as seen when Bulma lifts up the barrel. Because it's a heavy object, she has to exert a bit of energy to lift it up, shooting up with her shoulders, but because of that momentum and the difference in weight and size, it keeps moving, but then gravity kicks in and pulls it down. Kojima also goes to the effort to make the bugs bounce out and around as Bulma bounces up and around. And even besides all that, these are just some pretty difficult angles to animate Dragon Ball characters in general, so hats off there. Overall, this whole scene is just filled with dozens of nuanced animation details, and it just gives so much life to these characters. It's also rare to see character animation get much attention by Dragon Ball fans. I was surprised to see the reception it got, but I think that just goes to show how great of an animator Kojima is. Anyways, that's all I had to say. Just wanted to touch on that.
I ain't gonna lie, he fire. They need to keep that animated, bro. I think this is dope as hell. I ain't gonna lie. Dragon Ball Diamond, man. I'm actually watching Dragon Ball Z with my brother right now. But I done seen it all. I done seen Super. When Dama first came out, I took my girlfriend to the movie theaters. We saw the first 2 episodes in the movie theaters. But I ain't really, you know what I'm saying? We waiting on the dub to come out. I think they got 9. They should have about like 9 episodes out right now in dub. But I'm gonna wait till the whole 20 out and then we gonna binge watch it. We pretty excited for that. It's just we prefer dub. That's all. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with sub. She watched a couple things of sub, but I can't do it. I ain't gonna lie. But hell yeah, so I'm waiting patiently on that. I'm about to start playing Sparking Zero a lot more on my gaming channel, man. So I'm excited about that. Trying to get better, man. Trying to climb. I think I made it. I'm bouncing between A and B rank. A5 and B1 rank. You know what I'm saying? So trying to get better, man. Great animation, bro. Animation's fire, bro. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I hope they continue the story. I'm in some of the Facebook groups and people be arguing about is it canon or not and blah blah blah. Bro, I just be trying to enjoy it. Like I'm just a fan of the Dragon Ball Z world, like the culture, the world, the I guess different universes, whatever. I'm just a fan of Goku, you know what I'm saying? And rest in peace to the great, you feel me? But like, yeah, I'm just a fan of it, bro. I've always been a fan of it since a kid, so there ain't really nothing to like really support the shit, you feel me? But I like anything and everything they doing with it, man. And I hope they continue prosper and make that shit grow and you know what I'm saying? And make it make sense, man. Simple. So yeah, man, comment down below. If you a fan of Dragon Ball Z, I'm going to watch more Dragon Ball Z content. I like superheroes and stuff like that. A couple other animes and shit like that too. So, hell yeah, man. We're going to get shit popping, man. Subscribe to my channel, man. I appreciate you, man. I just be chilling. I'm going to be myself, whatever. You know what I mean? Ain't got nobody impressed around here. Simple. But definitely appreciate you, man. Hit the like button for me.